Everybody is sharing, and thought I'd just come on and talk to talk. No. Um, well, first, I want to give a shout out to Live with Trey because he did something that a lot of us probably should, with this being such a small world now with, YouTube and social media and everything. It's make a big world be a smaller world. But this guy, Craig Cash TV3, um, his roommate unfortunately had kicked him out um, for the usual over a woman. Um, Craig was dating a lady, and then some kind of way, you go to work, you kind of feel like you could trust your whoever you're seeing or dating, that hey, I leave you here. When I leave you here, you with me. When I come back, you with me. Well, she was seeing him, and then his roommate started hitting on her, and then all of a sudden, he kicks him out over the woman. And this man, I tell you, he was in a hotel and everything. But the night before he was kicked out, Live with Trey happened. He lives in Houston. He drove 12 hours to go hang out with Craig Cash TV3. And they were in his living room. And the guy, Craig Cash, also said that his roommate hardly ever would come out of his room. Half the time he wouldn't even know if he was in his room or not. But in fact, he also said when the girl came over, he was always out and doing push-ups and, just strutting himself, like he a rooster. I'm the big hog. I don't know, whatever. Being big, you know how guys could be. Everybody trying to be alpha up in there. So anyway, Craig's over there, and he coming out every 5 minutes, talking to Craig about being a DJ and just all kind of stuff. To Trey and everything. And so anyway, they hung out and they had a live together. Cause like I said, Live with Trey drove 12 hours to hang out with Craig Cash, and they was calling each other cuz and everything. And they had a really good relationship, and he would call to get on his live and things like that. And that's how I started watching Trey, because I think the whole little there was a little group of us. We would watch their lives, and Dante London. It was all about Dante London. This guy Dante London, who has disappeared off the earth as far as we know. He hasn't for about a month now. He has not been on YouTube at all. So now we're starting to talk about other things, which just have to be about Craig and Trey. So anyway, to get back to what I was originally talking about, Trey went with his son from Houston to Nashville, Tennessee, which is maybe right down the road from me, because I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I think it's a 3-hour drive. I've driven it. It's been so long ago since I've driven. I can't remember if it's 3 hours or 5 hours. I don't even think it's 5 hours. I think it's like 2 to 3 hours. So anyway, they hung out a little bit. So then they did the live together, and everything seemed great. And the guy kept coming there every 5 minutes. They're doing the live, and I happened to be watching that night. Usually I don't watch a whole lot of his lives because most of the time I gotta work the next day, and I did it a couple times, and I'm like, I can't do these lives like this. I'm not no youngster, and then I think like they have the following day off, or I'm not sure if Craig, if he has to go in, if he goes into work late. So, however it goes, but I think he gets off. He goes on the live early, and then he just kind of cuts out and everything. I don't do that anymore. But I did. I think I did one live. I watched it for a little bit, and then a lot of times what I've been doing now is just catching catch it on the record on the back end, and then I may leave a couple of comments or whatever. But the following day, the guy kicked him out. He evicted him. He had to get somebody to come and get all of his stuff, and he went to a hotel. And I think now he's like I don't know if he's at a hotel or a rooming board place, but wherever he is now, he's adjusted, and he's got him a nice little place where he has no roommates. And like this other lady was saying, most of the time, the best thing is not to have a roommate. And I believe in that. I've had actually, as far as living in an apartment, I've had only one roommate, and we did good for a while, and then things happened, and I just went on and moved out and everything. But we now, we do communicate, but it's not like we communicate all the time. But I think on their end, they're still a little salty how things went, and I'm too grown to harp on it anymore. So as far as I'm concerned, I moved on. I didn't ever apologize or whatever, but I did, reach out and things like that. But anyway, to get back to their story, today, or this morning, they had a live, and live with Trey, which he didn't tell anybody. He had this lady named Peggy. Hello. He had this lady named Peggy speak to, I guess this was her second time speaking with Craig TV. Craig Cash TV, I can't remember. But I just didn't know that she was speaking to him today or this morning. And she was, her spirit really sounded sincere. It just kind of gave me goosebumps when I was listening to the lady, because she sounded so sincere, and she showed so much love to her son's friend that, he's listening. And she said something to the fact of, yeah, and I had two sons, and my oldest was, and she says, Craig Watts, because Trey, his last name is Watts, and she put her last name on his, and I thought he was gonna cry. It was really emotional and everything, and she told him, he was part of the family, she loved him, and I'm telling you, it was so sweet. I was like, oh, they are brothers. But it just so happened too that they happened to both have the same, their dad's father's name was Harold, and which had a lot to bringing them a lot of bonding and closeness. Hey, both our fathers are named Harold, but it was really, really not touching. And so I think Craig Cash, he's getting his life back together again. It's he had a little fall, but I know the way it's looking, he's picking himself up and he's getting back up, and he's got to do what he's gonna do. He even spoke to his mother. I think it was on his channel, and he spoke to his mom. His mom lives in Florida, and she wants him to come and see her, and I guess I would understand that and everything. I don't know how he's going to do. He doesn't have a car, for one thing. I don't know if he has a license or not. And another thing is, he's afraid of flying. I never thought in this day of the age there would still be, people have fears of flying, but, a lot of people do. And I don't think it's about the fear of flying. A lot of people just the fear fear of, height and it being up in the sky so high and, just a lot of things. But, yeah, I think, he was going through the stages that any normal person would go through. He was mad, then he was sorrowful and sad. And I think now he's overcoming, and he said he's not even going to talk about his plight with his roommate and everything. And I was looking at his roommate, and I'm telling you, whoever this lady was, he looked like hot garbage. She definitely downgraded, because I'm not saying that Craig Cash TV was the best looking man in the world, but he's not a bad looking guy, and he looks a lot better than the guy that she dumped him, she dumped him for, and everything. They're not. He's not well. The guy he doesn't look. Well, he's just. If I was going on a dating show and he showed up and said I want my money back or something, ask for a refund, or I'm like, I don't want to do this show no more. And everything, but yeah, it was a really touching one, and like I said, they basically now, he's, Trey is calling Craig, his brother, and his family, like I said, also is welcoming him. He had his son also. Trey had his son. Like he said, he came in. His wife probably insisted, because she was like, "Yeah, you can go, but you gotta take one of the boys." How some women can be. You ain't gonna just be going out of here traveling around the world, and I gotta get somebody, an insider, in case you wanna, do some do. So she had her eldest, who's in college and everything, go with them, which is probably a wise thing anyway. 12 hours by yourself? No. I mean, I've done it in my, when I was real young, in my 20s. I drive all kind of places. I also have people drive with me, and, now I won't drive no dang on 12 hours. I'll fly. I don't even think I'll drive no more than 2 hours, because I was thinking about driving from here to Atlanta, and then I thought about it. Even my family was like, "Really? You driving from there to Atlanta?" And after I thought about it, I was like, I don't think so. So, but probably I'm gonna try to go next month. If not, I'll just keep my little dusty butt right here, and I may just drive up to Cincinnati and look into probably, doing something up there, and something. I don't know, either there or Indianapolis. Go to a football game, or I don't know if basketball is still going on. I'm gonna do something. But yeah, it was real touching. And Craig Cash, he like I said, we were all Craig Cash live with Trey, and just all of us were just would converse about Dante London, because this guy was just doing the most and everything, and so it was just so easy to not really pick on him, but just talk about what he did that day, or whatever it was that was going on within him and his marriage or whatever. And it was kind of like Vanessa Van Life journey, which I don't know who's worse, him or Vanessa, but I think Vanessa's got them all topped and everything. She does probably have a sister named Doe Dash. She's just as boring as Vanessa Van Life journey, and she also does the try to get people in with the get the viewers and subscribers in with her religious and church going talk and everything. And then also they all talk about quit your 9 to 5 and make YouTube your full-time job. Now, if you're going to do that, a lot of people can't afford to let go of their 9 to 5 and hope that they can make it on YouTube. You got to really, really know what you're doing on that YouTube to pitch yourself and say, I'm just going to give it all up and everything. And then also there's another guy too, the mic drop barbecue. Yeah, I hope I'm saying it right. He also has commentary. He does a lot. He's pretty smart guy. He was also a Dante London reaction guy, and now he's also. We're all steering. I think everybody's starting to talk about other subjects now about it. Instead of Dante London, who has disappeared, went from being evicted to broke to who knows what's going on with him. I don't think he's homeless, but me personally, I'm thinking the guy. They said he is allegedly has gone into a mental institution, allegedly. And if he has, I think that's also kind of for him. I don't want to say a money grab, but kind of, if you don't, if you like living in poverty, getting free home, getting, I think they get a staple of money per month. I'm assuming, I don't know the whole details of what some of these people get, but if he went to a mental institution, I think that's a fast track to housing and food stamps. And because I do know one person that kind of did that, and they live in a pretty comfortable place. Now they're not making. They aren't getting. I think they get like $60 a month in food stamps. Who can really live off of that? $60 food stamps? There's no way I could live like that. I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, because I need some clothes. Like I said, I don't know how she lives, and I don't know how. I don't get into their business or whatever. But anyway, so everybody's kind of like, if this guy ever comes back, he won't be at the place that he was, because he was getting a lot of views. Now he'll be lucky if he comes back on, if he'll get maybe 1,000, 2,000 at the most views, because a lot of people have, out of sight, out of mind, and they have moved on. But this group, it's a great group. It's a lot of people in there that are regulars and everything. And like I said, it's just those three main people, but especially Live with Trey Watts, and then the mic drop barbecue. His last name is Watts, but it's spelled with one T. And Trey Watts, Live with Trey, his last name is spelled with two T's. And it's just kind of funny and everything that they all kind of collab. But especially the main thing is when Craig Cash and Live with Trey did that collaboration. And because when I first looked, I was like, it kind of looks like Trey is at Craig's house, but maybe, and I was thinking, oh, maybe he's kind of superimposed. Maybe he's hologram. I'm trying to we got some people. Hold on. I think these people have been evicted. Hold on.